Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, or should I say ladies of Jerusalem, because that's what Google thought I said on the Google translation annotations of my last video. I also managed to go on about there being a war with Russia and Israel, when there clearly isn't. So, whatever you do when you listen to my videos, do not turn the Google annotations on. Anyway, this is my second Battlefield Bad Company 2 commentary, and I'd just like to thank you first of all for the good response of the first one. It was actually a lot better than I thought it was, and I had quite a few views, which is always quite nice to have. Anyhow, this is Port Valdez Rush whilst attacking, and the kit I'm using today is the Medic with the XM8 LMG, which is an absolute beast of a gun, not gonna lie. It does rape everything. Some setups that I would recommend for you to use with this gun is obviously the defibrillator and the medipack. The gun itself, handguns, I would choose the MP44-3 Garak or the M9, maybe the M1911. But that's a maybe. I wouldn't really use that. I wouldn't use the MMNR ammo. I'd use the Magnum ammo because it has quite good recoil starting off. Also has quite a good iron sight, so you don't need to go for the red dot or the 4x scope on this gun, which is another plus because then you can open yourself up to other kit attachments like whatever you see. On this case, I am using the lightweight package, which is good for me. Another good thing that you need to point out with this gun whilst using it is if you're not at close range, don't spray like hell because your bullets will go everywhere since you don't have the MMNR ammo on. This case, since for some of these situations that I am in close proximity, I will spray the hell out of my enemies, which is a good thing to do, so you make sure they die. Which you can do as well because it's got 100 bullets in the clip, which is always a nice thing. Although when you are at long range, I would suggest either bursting between 3 and 7 shots. 3, 7 if you're at 3 if you actually, let's start with the long range. 3 if you're at the very long range, and so you can keep on tracking with them whilst you spotted them. 7 if you're at the very long range, and 7 if you're at the short range of the long range category, so you can keep it going. And if you go to spray for 7 bullets in a row, I'd start at the middle of the chest because your bullets will drag upwards with the recoil, which is always good. Next thing that I would like to say is, well, my thoughts about Battlefield 3, seeming as DICE are in Germany this weekend for the Gamescom convention, and they're previewing Battlefield 3, another preview of it, but this time previewing more of the vehicles and the Conquest game mode for the PC. Which is a good thing that they're previewing it for the PC because the game was actually based primarily made for the PC, not the PS3 or the Xbox. They're going straight for the PC and then porting it over and see what they can do and try and make it the best on the consoles. They are previewing Conquest because on PC generally Rush is incredibly unbalanced because it's huge amounts of players versus huge amounts of players, and it's just one big sniper and grenade fest, and it's just a complete mess, I think. So Conquest is always a better idea to go for. As well with Conquest, they might be showing some, well, there is rumours actually that they will be showing footage of the airplanes gameplay, the fighter jets, and some of the other vehicles. I'd like to see them preview this time maybe the transport helicopter, see how that goes, and of course the fighter jets, because I don't want to see the main Apache helicopters because I think they can leave that another time. And as well, I wouldn't like to see airplanes or helicopters that can attack you like Apache helicopters in Rush, because when the defending team's just got a helicopter, it's just they're a bitch to take down in Bad Company 2. Imagine what it would be like in Battlefield 3 being an absolute bastard to take them down. So I wouldn't like to see that in there. Conquest is always a good thing to put them in because generally the maps aren't ridiculously huge and they aren't spread over huge amounts of areas. They're a bit more compacted. And as well, both teams have more of a fair chance of taking each other's planes down. Another thing that I'd like to say, generally if you've played another Battlefield game, maybe 1943 or being retro here, old school Battlefield 2, which is an old school game for me because I'm relatively young, you'll know that planes are a bitch to take down, an absolute bitch to take down. I really don't want this to be the case in Battlefield 3 because so far they've made the game look really, really good, and I'm really looking forward to the beta, which should be coming out soon, as I've got Medal of Honor, the Prestige Edition for my PS3, so I have access to the beta, which is always good. Yeah, so that's that out of the way. The things that I've liked about the Battlefield 3 game, we have seen some gun-on-gun gameplay, and I think when DICE made Medal of Honor, I think that was just like a bit of a test, because let's be honest, Medal of Honor is a bit, it didn't really have that much time spent on it, I don't think. The beta was shocking as well, which put everybody off buying it, but the guns, the final result, the SMGs and the assault rifles, I thought recoil-wise were quite good, aiming down the sight, but I mean, hip firing, they're a bit, the SMGs were a bit broken, not gonna lie. The assault rifles, they were alright, aiming from the hip. The snipers, now, from what I have seen, the snipers are now completely nerfed and fair to go against now. I mean, it does take a bit more skill now. You have to actually aim at the top of the chest and neck or the head to get a one-shot kill with the bullet snipers, which is completely fair as in the start of the game. Especially on maps like the Woggle Camp, you could just rape people from across this map at the spawn, easily hit collaterals, and it was just completely broken, and you couldn't do anything with it at all. This building there, when taking that outpost, let me just completely forget what I was saying. When taking that outpost, you want some people in that building. If you're going to get on the MG gun as well, make sure you only kill about two people max, and then get off it, because they'll immediately know where you are. The enemies are. You don't want to be there. Even see when they chuck the grenade into me, jump out of it immediately. Especially since my building's quite damaged and it could fall down quite easily. That is a good tip that I will share with you. And look how we got that base. That base was done quite easy. Just got one more objective done now. But anyway, back onto the concept of Medal of Honor and Battlefield 3. LMGs in Medal of Honor were absolutely shocking, and I would not like to see them behave the way that they did in Medal of Honor in Battlefield 3. I'd more likely like to see the way that the LMGs behaved in Bad Company 2, or in fact Battlefield 2, going retro again, have them behave that way in Battlefield 3, because Medal of Honor's LMGs, I mean, you could spray 2 bullets, that's not even spraying 2 bullets, you'd fire 2 bullets, and the rest would just go everywhere after that, and it would be a complete mess, and you just could not use them at all. Even with using like open tip ammo and the grips and all that, they were just complete shenanigans. Handguns, I'd like to see the handguns as well. I'd actually like to see them behave as they did in Medal of Honor, because I thought that was quite good for handguns. I mean, they were strong, but at the same time as them being strong, they were good viable secondary weapons. I mean, seeming as you can't just go, oh, I'm going to chuck my handgun away, pick up this LMG like you can in COD. You cannot do that in Battlefield and Medal of Honor, which is a fair good thing, I'd like to say. So yeah, that's how I hope the guns fit out. Other things that I've seen from Alpha, obviously we've all seen Alpha footage so far. I'd like to say it looks pretty good, seeming as it isn't Alpha. I mean, you're not going to expect loads of things from it. You're not going to expect it to be amazing. So primarily from the Alpha, and watch this, shoot the chopper down. That is my favourite way to take a chopper down, double kill as well. I was proper happy with that. Anyway, the amphibious vehicles in Battlefield 3. I think as long, like in Bad Company 2, the Bradley can't really go in mega deep water, which is a good thing, because then you could just imagine Isle of Innocence just going straight across the maps. I mean, from what we've seen so far on the map Operation Metro, I don't actually have the beta because I don't have a gaming PC as of yet. I'm looking to buy one. You can't go too far into the water. You probably will die. But as in Battlefield 3, it is a nice thing that we can go into the water a fair bit and use them as actual amphibious vehicles, the light tanks, and not just be like heavy tank but with a cannon that fires like 5 shots. And it's just a bit broken towards ground infantry. Another thing that I'd like to say, for some reason on my PlayStation 3 when I'm playing in a tank, the secondary fire option, when you're the main gunner in a tank, does not work. And I don't know why, because the control buttons that you actually use for it work on my PlayStation, and that's why you'll see, oh, this guy's a bit of a catfish, he's not actually You can easily spray those guys down with the main guns. Yeah, that's enough about the vehicles. The heavy tanks, I think DICE really need to push people to go towards using the engineer kit more to try and take the tanks down and be more of a team player really. Tracer darts. I mean, tracer darts aren't for everyone, and they're hard to stick air vehicles with. I mean, you're going to have no chance sticking a plane with a tracer dart. Or trying to AT4 a plane. We might see E7CY3 try and do it, because let's be honest, he's just a beast, and High C, because he's also a beast of AT4. He'll probably like doing 360 barrel rolls with the AT4 and then hitting into the pilots of the planes, because that's what he's like. But DICE really need to push the engineer kit more, because as on Battlefield Bad Company 2, everybody uses recon. I hate it when your teammates are recons. You only need 2 recons on a team, or assault. There isn't really many medics, to be honest, because of the Rambo reviving issue. I mean, look at this now. This chopper pissed me off how I couldn't get it down. The thing is, if with DICE, if they're going to buff the tanks up health-wise at the same time, they might need to make the AT4s maybe a bit stronger towards things. I'd say for a heavy tank, you're looking at, if you're firing at the rear of the tank, which is where the weak spot is for taking it down, I'd say 3 AT4s, 4 RPGs would be fair. And maybe for the Bradley tanks, the light tanks, 2 to 3 AT4s and about 3 RPGs. I think that's fair to take a tank down, because then it is more of a team effort. Seeming as on PC that it's going to be epic battles with loads of players. Consoles, it's obviously going to be a bit different, and they're going to have to sort it out for that reasons. But otherwise from that, I'd say that's how they should probably balance the tanks, and don't make them obviously like fucking super things that just destroy everything. I mean, it's piss annoying when an enemy team has a tank and you're the only one trying to take it down and it's getting you all the time. So that's why they really need to push enemy teams. I mean, even when the engineer comes out of the tank and heals it, just as you blown your rocket, and it's just like, God, that was a wasted effort. So that's what it feels like, I think, when you're trying to play with it. This LMG here, there's a nice bit that comes up. Look at this perfect precision spraying. Get that guy with about 3 bullets. Knife this thing down here. See over here that there's a guy running across. See me tapping the trigger, constantly getting him spotted as well. So I can see him run behind and perfectly spot him off. Anyway, we're drawing into the end of the video now. So if you've got this far, I'd like to thank you for watching very much. It means a lot to me. These videos, I mean, going for a second commentary and doing a 12-minute video is very, very hard. I mean, it's been a challenge for me to talk to you for 12 minutes now. Things that I'd just like to say. There is going to be a link in the description to my previous commentary, which is my introduction, which will say a bit more about myself to you new viewers of mine. It's also got some weapon tips on the M416 that I give. Thank you for watching. If you could like this video and maybe comment on it, I would be very appreciative, as if you do comment, I will reply to every single comment that you post on this video. Anyhow, this is me signing out now. Goodbye.